Alright, welcome back to Kosi Media, everybody. Thank you for joining me once again. Yet another Arsenal show. I'm doing a couple of Arsenal shows these days, so many of them, because Arsenal is really trending. Willian is there coming to us now. You look at players like Willian, Coutinho, you know, very many stories around Arsenal. And I'll continue giving you the news, guys, because you continue loving the channel, you continue subscribing. There is nothing I would appreciate more than you guys appreciating the work I do by subscribing and liking the videos. Of course, you can also you know, support the channel by becoming a member. Very soon I'm introducing the memberships, and obviously I'll be introducing the super chat show, where I'll be doing a lot of super chat talks and all the other things. I'm planning on coming live next month quite more often, so guys, keep posted. All right, let us get into the news. Phillipe Coutinho, one of those you know, Brazilians that are very talented, highly talented Brazilian, highly talented playmaker, highly talented number 10, one of those best players that I've ever seen play for Liverpool. I think his partnership with Luis Suarez and the likes of Raheem Sterling was really, you know, fabulous. I remember that you know, league, that side that was about to win the Premier League for Liverpool, the Steven Gerrards, but somehow they failed to get it, you know, to the task, and they didn't win. I don't blame anyone for that. Arsenal has finalized personal terms with Phillipe Coutinho. It's going to be a long deal for a season, or for the season long loan. That is the word I wanted to say when I actually stumbled. According to the reports, of course, like I said, his agent is Kia Jorabchin, and he's the same agent with Willian. Yesterday, Coutinho arrived at the Emirates Stadium, at the Colney training ground for talks, and I didn't know. I did that story today, and I was like, how did they, how the hell did this happen? He arrived for for talks at the Arsenal side, and he had some talks with the club. They did do a lot of things. They did talk about a lot of things until they agreed personal terms. Now, the most shameful part of it is that I've been trying to look for the details of the personal terms. What is the contract? How are they going to be, paying Coutinho and the rest of the things? But I didn't find anything, But I promise, when I come here, I'll tell you all the details as soon as I get them. I do promise that. But Arsenal has agreed personal terms with Phillipe Coutinho. He's going to be joining the Gunners on a long loan deal. That is next season, 2020-2021 season. Yeah, Barcelona, would be the only stumbling block now, because Arsenal have to go, officially to Barcelona, get, every deal. But it seems that, it is smooth, because it is Barcelona who offered Phillipe Coutinho to Arsenal. Arsenal didn't go in for Phillipe Coutinho. Yes, I know Mikel Arteta is a very big fan of the player. He has already said that, he wants to work with Phillipe Coutinho for some time. He wants to, make him his number 10 and the rest. But he has never, went there and asked for Phillipe Coutinho. It is actually Barcelona that has been offering Coutinho around, offered him to Chelsea, offered him to Liverpool, offered him to Manchester United, and suddenly it is Arsenal who picked interest. You remember, he has been on loan, out on loan with Bayern, and Bayern had an option of buying him on a permanent basis, but they failed. They said, no, we are not going to be taking him on a permanent basis. We don't feel like he's the kind of player we want. We would rather spend our money on Leroy Sané. And Barcelona were like, all right, we shall keep, loaning him out until he gets a place to settle, or until his contract runs down, because I think signing for Liverpool almost 3 years ago now, his contract has something like 2 years to go. If Arsenal can finish this loan deal, that means the player will have 1 year to go. Then he can actually join Arsenal on a reduced price, because when a player is, when a player still has 2 years left on his contract, of course, he's very expensive, and that's why you see clubs like United are still battling out with Jordan Sancho. The price is still high. Kai Havertz to Chelsea is very, very hard because Havertz still has that big contract. So if you wanted to buy Coutinho right now, it would be really expensive. I want us to be very real, although we are Gunners, but it would be really expensive, and we do not have that money. You remember Thomas Partey? We are still looking for his man. I don't know whether we are still in the deal, but if we are, we are looking for the money to buy Thomas Partey, and we have started selling off our players. Maitland-Niles linked with Tottenham, and a couple of others. Torreira and Bellerin could also leave in the same cargo. So Coutinho would be very expensive. We wouldn't actually bring in Phillipe Coutinho on a permanent basis. What we can do, on the other hand, is activate a loan deal. When that loan deal expires and he has done well with Arsenal, then he can actually stay on a permanent basis where we can pay, I think, around, I think, because Barcelona, I think, bought him at around 121 million from Liverpool, 27 million euros. I think we can buy him at 45 or 50, somewhere, and around that, if he proves, because right now I think he's coming to Arsenal, he's 28. That means by the time he finishes his loan deal at Arsenal, he will be 29. Now that means that the rest of the season, the rest of his career is in the evening. Actually, this is his peak. This must be his peak. This is where he has to play the football and make us believe that he's actually viable. But right now, he's having problems with his career. Yes, he went to Bayern Munich and tried to, bring out the, the Coutinho we know, but not exactly like we would want it. Not exactly like, the Phillipe we would want to see. Anyway, Arsenal have agreed those personal terms with Phillipe Coutinho. We are waiting for the announcement. I'm going to wait for Fabrizio Romano or Christian Falk. One of those must be giving me the authentic, piece of information. As soon as I get the details from, any of those, I'm going to come here and we discuss more about Phillipe Coutinho. Do you want him, guys? It is a question. Do you want Phillipe Coutinho? It's a question I'll leave for you. For me, I will not answer. I will not, entangle myself into the entanglement. I just love the word. I even don't, know what it means exactly. I think I should use my Google, dictionary as soon as I leave this place. Anyway, well, I think Arsenal, if you are going to use 3-4-3 formation next season, we might not need Phillipe Coutinho. I want us to be very, real. 3-4-3, you don't need a player like Phillipe Coutinho. However, if Mikel Arteta plans to using a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3, we may need a Phillipe Coutinho. In this case, now, of course, the back four is still chaos. We need to buy defenders, or a defender at least, because we have brought in William Saliba from, Saint Etienne, and he has already joined us. He's already training. We are close to bringing in Willian. So, if we were to use a 4-3-3, we would have 4 centre-backs. I don't know who they will be. But in most cases, you may, as a Tata, you may imagine he's going to use David Luiz, William Saliba. Of course, Kian Tierney has been in top form, especially by the end of the season. So I expect he will stay, playing the way he has been playing for Mikel Arteta. I would look at Cedric Soares. I confuse him with Socrates. I would look at Cedric playing on the right. That would be his back four, guys. I think that is Mikel Arteta's back four. I don't see him play Holding. I don't see him play Mustafi. I don't see him play any other back like Socrates. I think he's going to be playing Luiz and Saliba. And just to inform you, Socrates could be on his way out of Arsenal, but I'm not really sure. His agent has already come out and cancelled those rumors. Now, the three in front of the defense, we have we need a CDM. In this case, it is Grant Xhaka, because he has always given us that that shield for the defense. Of course, there are not so many midfielders around. Dani Ceballos has gone back to Real Madrid. Now, that is where, instead of bringing back Ceballos, I think he wants to bring in Phillipe Coutinho. Now, he wants to use something like 2 CDMs, one to act as a box-to-box. Of course, Phillipe Coutinho, he loves using, much space and playing on the free roll. Yeah. So he would use two CDMs, and then in front of them would be Phillipe Coutinho, who would have two roles. One, to link up the the defensive part of the of the team to the offensive, and then secondly to be the the free role maker and dictate the tempo of the game, as well as creating the chances. He would be the playmaker. I think he does that perfectly well. He has done it at Liverpool. He has done it so well at Inter Milan before he joined Liverpool, and I think he has the potential as a player. Then the three, of course, they are obvious. I think I don't know whether he's going to keep playing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang onto the left because he has Pepe, 72 million. He can't just afford to make him sit on the bench. Really, you can't. You have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, your top scorer in the league, the best player in the club. I think it would be just crazy if you made them sit on the bench. So those are two default stats. Now you have Willian, signed a 3-year contract, earning 110k, new signing. You have to convince the rich man why you told him to sign him if you're not going to play him. So Willian has to start. That means that players like Martinelli, Bukayo Saka will have to sit on the bench more of their time at Arsenal, or feature more in the Europa League, FA Cup, as well as the EFL Cup, which is also good for purposes of squad resting and squad depth and squad rotation. So the front three could be Aubameyang as a striker, not as a lone striker, but I think he's going to use a solid 3. He might not use something like 4-2-3-1. No, I think he's going to use a 4-3-3, where actually something like a 4-2-1-3, where you have Willian and Pepe supporting Aubameyang. That means that any of those can score, just like you see Liverpool play. You have Roberto Firmino, in this case would be Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, playing as the real number 9, but again acting as a false 9. Because Aubameyang is a goal scorer, natural born goal scorer. 22, 20, 20, those are the goals, he scores. Those are his ratings in a season. And then you would think that, Willian can give you some 8 goals in a season if he's, working well. Pepe on the other side, I don't know. By the time we ended our season, Pepe was really working well. He was really doing well. And I would only imagine if Arsenal can bring out the best in Pepe. He's one of the best wingers available in the Premier League. So I think that he's going to use a 4-3-3 or something like a 4-2-1-3 with Phillipe Coutinho, the king of Arsenal. The king of Arsenal, Phillipe Coutinho, that's a big question. We can discuss that when he has played some 2-3 games or 4 or 5 anyway. My name is Kosi, and of course that is the transfer update. Phillipe Coutinho agrees terms with Arsenal. Reported by AFTV, reported by the Telegraph, reported by so many other websites, and of course finally reported by Kose Media. My name is Kosi. Allow me to leave. I'll come back late.